Tommie Turvey has just entered the ring for his demo. Let's have a look.
My work with horses has always consisted of entertainment. At a very young age, I competed in shows at gymkhanas and that kind of stuff. But by the time I was 18, I started at Medieval Times Dinner Theater, then Arabian Nights Dinner Theater, and then the Buffalo Bills Wild West Show Dinner Theater over in Paris, France. And I really learned how to entertain on horseback. I've brought my acts here to CanAm for this weekend, and I'll be performing an act such as Roman riding, where I stand on top of two horses, gallop around the arena, and jump over a wall of fire. And then my wife, Chantel Turvey, will also be performing her act with her horse. Then also I do a comedy act where I make fun of the dressage people, because dressage people are, very good, and they try to be very respectful and proper and perfect all the time. So it's great when they make mistakes, and I like to make fun of that. What we do in our demonstrations is, I'm not so much of a trainer that has a program to where I'm trying to convince the world that my program and my training is the only way.
You've trained horses for films. Can you tell us about that, and what's the most difficult stunt that you've had to do?
The biggest commercial I've ever done was the #1 Super Bowl commercial ad of all time. It's called Brotherhood, and that's about a Budweiser Clydesdale growing up into becoming a Budweiser Clydesdale pulling horse. And then the biggest television show I'm currently doing right now is called The Walking Dead, where I train all the animals on the show to do specific tasks. The first episode, where the horse gets attacked and eaten by the zombies, that's him, Blade. He's actually been in 13 Screen Actors Guild films, and he's a Mustang right off the BLM range. So he went from wild to Hollywood.
I saw one of the movies that you trained a horse for, and you had the horse running beside a train. I'm wondering, how difficult is it to train a horse to do that kind of a trick?
At the time when they called me about it and asked me if I could do it, lived pretty close to a train. So I would ride Blade down there, and he was pretty afraid of the trains. It's such a powerful object. It's not just, the noise is the power and the thunder behind it, and the shaking of the ground. And I knew about it for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks before the actual stunt, and I started, I didn't know for sure I had it, but right when I heard maybe I might have it, I started working the horse. But by about the 5th or 6th time of chasing down the train, I had it pretty good. And I don't know if it's the same conductor every time, but they started waving at me after a while, and I just wait for the train and run beside them. A lot of times the train was going so fast for rehearsal. A horse cantering, a train should be going, I figured it out, about 12 to 14 miles an hour to do the transfer, because you want your horse to be cantering at a pretty good pace, but you don't want to get up and overshoot it, and you also don't want to get up and not be going fast enough. So like 12 to 14 miles is a perfect speed if anybody's looking to transfer onto a train from a horse.
Okay, and what's the most rewarding thing for you about performing with these horses for audiences?
Showing what they can do. I think it's probably the most fascinating animal in the world, and it's the animal that's helped man and human more than any other animal. I don't think there's any other animal that's helped humans as much as the horse has, and that goes as far as from supplying food to entertainment to just in our hearts and love, and bonding and friendship. So I like bringing out the best of a horse. I like every horse. There's something good about every horse. Every horse you can bring out the best of, and that's what I like doing. That's my goal when I get a horse. I'm going to bring out the best. I don't know what he's going to do, or how he's going to get there, but we're going to bring it out somewhere, one way or the other.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy weekend to talk to us today, and we're looking forward to seeing your demos and your show.
Thank you.